to go. So welcome. This is our Monday Mastermind. We are called Grow Global, which we're a diverse group of agents from all different brokerages, all different backgrounds, all with different experience levels from all across the country. And we come together here on Mondays at noon Eastern Standard Time to talk about how we can grow our business, grow our network, and grow your life. Before we get started, we have a great topic for you today. But before we get started, I want to show you some resources we have for you. We have a Facebook page. You want to make sure you get invited to that. Whoever invited you here today can get you invited to that. We post different announcements and things in there. Of course, we record it. Some of us talk faster than others on this, and so you may want to repeat some of those things. I'm a farmer from Ohio. They say I talk fast like an East Coast person, they say. But um, we've also got an Instagram page, which you can be invited to. And we got some really cool stuff on there. We give shout outs to you. If you ever have something you did great, and you want to let us know, our admin and our assistants here to know that, they'll create a graphic for you and you can post it out there on your page, a little third-party documentation. And then today we have a website, but on the website there's all kinds of different, if you can see my screen, all different types of assets across the top. But in the middle here is the events tab, and it always tells us what our next topic is going to be about. And so today we're going to talk about something very important. We're going to talk about where are your next 3 closings coming from. We're going to be exploring where successful agents are finding their next clients and closings in today's market. And we are going to share, when I say we, that includes you. If you're like, is he talking to me? The answer is yes, I'm talking to you. We're going to be sharing and discovering real world lead generation strategies that are producing results right now. So you're going to walk out of here today with fresh ideas, insights, and actionable takeaways to help you fill your pipeline. Look, we don't want to use up an hour of your time. You're busy. It's a Monday. What we want to talk about today is it's not going to be theory. This is stuff that's actually working. So the goal for us today is for you to leave here with a clear answer to one question. Where are your next 3 closings realistically coming from? Not someday closings, not hope closings, actual people, actual conversations, and actual pipeline. So we're going to talk about what is working right now. Also, maybe what is not working. Like sometimes, right, in real estate, you need to stop something to start something else. And sometimes we get so locked in and focused on this one thing that used to work a year ago, but now it's not working. We just keep crossing our fingers and hoping that it's going to start working again. And maybe it's just dead, right? What social media platform used to work may not work now, and vice versa, right? So our goal is to help you create conversations which you can turn into appointments, and those appointments into closings. So the first thing we're going to start with is in the chat. I want people to put in the chat right now. I want you to take 30 seconds and think about it. And if you know it off the top of your head, go in there. Where did your last 3 closings come from? Because sometimes to look forward, we have to look backwards. Like if you're thinking about my last 3 closings, where did they come from? Sometimes all we need to do is just scale what you did in the last to get more of them. So go ahead and type in there. Don't everybody type at once. Go ahead. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Everybody type at once. Where did they come from? Here's some ideas. Did it come from your sphere? Was it a past client? Was it from open house? Was it Zillow? Was it social media? Was it a referral? Was it a sign call? Expired listing? Maybe a builder deal, right? An investor, divorce attorney, relocation. Where did your last deal come from, or last 3 deals? So here we go. So we're taking a look at this. So Tony Williams, perplexity. Carmen, she says her last 3 were referrals. We're going to come back to you on that, Carmen, because everybody's going to want to know what script you were using to get the referrals. Kim Campbell says open house. Chiquita says family. Tony Williams says his came from his Google business profile, organic. That's not paid. That sounds like he's getting that for my favorite word, free. Anybody else want to put something in there where their last 3 closing or last closing came from? Anybody else got anything they want to put in? We've got plenty to talk about in there that we can go back to. So let's go. I'm going to start. People are going to be like, I didn't know you were going to make me talk if I typed in there. But Carmen, your last 3 were referrals. I believe, and I'm sure you do too, and I'd like to hear from you on this. We have a saying in our house, and that is every real estate transaction should have a baby. What does that mean to have a baby? That means if we did a deal with somebody and we did a good job, we should be able to get sometime in the next 12 months another deal out of there. So, Carmen, if you'd like to unmute, and if you don't want to unmute, you can just tell me. But your last three referrals, what are you using to get the referrals? When are you asking for it? How are you asking? How's that working? Go ahead, Carmen.
My good morning, everyone, or
Good
afternoon for
morning.
you guys. um, it's a little after 9 here. So, my it what they didn't come close, like within 12 months, but one of the things that I am pretty good at is trying to stay in front of my past clients, and
Mhm.
that's what they were. One of them, all of them, were from previous clients, referrals from previous clients.
So, Carmen, if
And
they're previous clients and they're not just referrals like right now off a deal that was recent, what's your method of staying in touch with them?
I reach out. I call every so often, 2, 3 times a year, and I you know like happy birthday, Merry Christmas, happy anniversary. I get all that information, make sure that I, reach out to that. I'll pick up the phone and dial every so often. I've been thinking of you. Hi, how are you and your family? Things like that. Nothing
I love
special,
that
just,
line. Go
huh?
ahead, Carmen. Go ahead.
Nothing special, just normal chit chat. And then
Well, I love what you
I may or may not ask for something, but now I'm still on their mind. And so when somebody comes across, they send them to me. One
I love
person
what you
was,
said. I was thinking about you. I love that, Carmen. Is that just something that comes natural from you, or did somebody teach you that? I mean, that's a great way to open the conversation because people are
Mhm.
looking for a connection, right?
I think it comes pretty natural for me. I'm kind of, that's something that really flows smoothly. That's a problem I have right now. For some reason, I'm a little bit shaky with what to say, but that's something that I've kind of always done, and it kind of flows naturally.
Now, during that conversation, are you ever direct about asking for referrals? Because look, I was taught the old school way of right, hey, who do you know who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate sometime in the next 6 to 12 months? That's a very direct question. Are you directly asking
I
like that, or are you just
Not
butter?
always, but I've recently made it a point to do that because a lot of people think that I'm retired and I'm not doing that business anymore. And so recently I'm making it a point to let my uh, sphere of influence know, and previous clients in particular know that I am still working. I said, no, I'm not retired. I'm semi-retired. How about that? And I said, what that means is I'm still doing. I'm a realtor and a mobile notary, and I let them know that I'm still doing both of those things. I'm not doing my 9 to 5 anymore, but I still do both of those things.
So, Carmen, are you telling all of us that we can't just sit on our couch watching Netflix and just have referrals drop in out of the ceiling? We actually got to dial people up.
Yes.
Great.
Because if people think you're retired, they'll think, "Oh, I just did such and such." You know how that happens, and I thought you were retired. you know, that I got that a few times or something. Nope, no, don't just sit on the couch with the remote.
Now,
I
Carmen,
tried that; it doesn't work.
I heard you mention anniversaries and things like that. How are you tracking all that?
iPhone,
Your iPhone. Wow.
yes, it. I put it in my phone, and it'll send me a reminder.
That's awesome. So you're putting it like in your calendar then so that it pops up so it reminds you to call them or how you doing it?
Mine is in under my contacts.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome. That's great.
It's under my contacts, so it'll, you know, let me know that somebody's birthday is coming or something. And it'll be in my database, but I that's something I'm working on improving my database, working my database more. But and so that information is also going in my database. And for the people that I have, a lot of it is there. But on my phone, I make sure I put that information, like I put all the kids' information. I'll put the parents' birthdays, and I'll put their anniversary, things like that, in my phone. And so it'll pop up telling me somebody's birthday is today or something.
I love that, Carmen. You know, I've heard the saying before that 80% of lead generation is just showing up, popping up on their phone like you're doing, giving them a ring, and it puts you back top of mind awareness. Would you agree with that?
Yep, it will, it
I love it.
helps.
Well done,
It
well
that's
done. So
primary. That is better. I do farming too, but that's my referral. Most of my business comes from referral, especially my listing.
great stuff. Kim Campbell. Kim Campbell, you put down in here open house. What do you mean by open house? How'd that work out?
So is when I talk about this with open house, people thought you sitting there and just waiting for the buyer or seller to come. For me, so I work with new agents. So what I do is I'll go out to all the home. Not only I knock door, I build relationship with them, right? So those are the sources. So while I was doing last time, I was doing a an open house in Tucker, Georgia. And so I walked around and meet everybody, you know what I mean? Like everybody. And so somebody is looking to buy somewhere else. It didn't matter. I'm just looking for a lead. I don't care where, right? So that's why I door knock to invite them to give them a reason to invite them to the open house. But actually, my intention is not, it's invite them to the open house. Number one. Number two, I want to build a relationship with them because I know they know somebody who buying or selling, and I have a reason for them to go and take a look at my listing and to get to know me. And while I was doing all that and running around the neighborhood and putting signs up and things like that, and there was this buyer, this buyer didn't know, walked up and said, I'm looking to buy something in here. I don't know what yours is, but I saw the other one. I'm like, you know what? Interesting you got. Take a look at I'll show you that one too. And we're closing on that buyer in 2 weeks. That is how I do open house. I don't do open house waiting for the person to come alone. I go knock on door because using open house as a marketing excuse to go and invite other people to your listing and to get to know you, and you talk real estate and you get to know the family, like Carmen say, get to know their birthday, everything, all right there. So an open house is not just you put up a date and then you put up a sign, you just go and you get away. No, it's a very actively marketing yourself and your listing and all that you do in one. And I know boss Tracy Boss is masterful at this stuff, and she can tell you all about because she is killing it. And that's what I know how I do my open house.
I love what Kim says. The open house is not just some 2 hour event where you sit there. It's actually a lead generation campaign, a program
Yes.
that starts, I tell my agents, a week before the actual open house. You're actually marketing for it the entire time. And of course, then during, but then afterwards. Kim, your people that are coming in, how are you tracking them? Are you using a QR code? Are you using an old school sign-in sheet? How are you getting their contact information so that you can follow up with them after, right? Because we've all heard the saying, the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Sometimes you may only have five,
Yep.
10 minutes to connect with somebody at that open house. Go ahead.
Oh, it's funny. I was sitting in front of my marketing material. I got both QR code on the phone and in paper because some old folks like myself, we don't like QR code too much, right? But I have both. I have QR code for like people who under 40s, right? People who over 40 like myself, we like go here. So I track both sides, then take them home, and then put into have me or my staff put in follow up boss. Or if I were, or the other thing I do too, if I do open house, I'm training somebody, I give all those leads, like I have them do that. I don't, like let's say last time I did with Justin Richardson, and he has a whole list of people. I did open house with him, but I gave him the whole list, so he went home and working on those leads, and I don't touch them. Does it make sense? So when I help other people. When I do that, I don't take the lead personally unless I'm just walking out and I see somebody and then they want to buy, then I'll just go ahead and work that person. But the rest of the lead, I give it to the person that actually holding the open house for me.
The old school belly to belly marketing, right? It's what we used to call
Yes,
it in the
sir.
old days, right? Face to face. People are
Yes.
getting screen fatigue a little bit, and being able to actually see somebody, shake their hand, and talk to them a little bit gives you the advantage over somebody else who's just communicating that with them through social media and things like that. The people that are out are buyers. And then you're also auditioning for sellers. When you agree, Kim, like when a neighbor
Absolutely.
comes in, when a nosy neighbor comes in, I know I am being interviewed.
Yes. And you know that they checking you out too. They say, what kind of idiot is in front of me? I'm just being real, you know. And when people meet you with a my nice bright smile, they are in love with you, you know. And that is real estate. We are our billboard. You know, we are the billboard. I get leads. I'm telling you, all I need is a true, like somebody like an assistant with me or something who just like I talk and then they gather information and send them something. Now, something I make a mistake on sometime and still do is sometimes I got home, I got busy, I didn't follow up. Like I have 3 leads that I haven't followed up yet. Now that's my fault because I was traveling and all this stuff. No excuses. I should have got that lead to somebody else to take care of it immediately. You see what I'm saying? That's something I got to work on my system a little bit because sometimes I got bogged up and talking too much, you know, like with the different people and collecting data and haven't had a chance to respond to them. How many people done that? I know I'm not the only one.
Right.
I have three
Yeah.
people right now that I'm like, oh shoot, they're looking for like
Hey,
6, 7, like $1 million home around me.
hey, Jim. Well, some of our agents have mentioned that they use a link in Bold Trail that links directly to their Bold Trail account. So they have somebody come in the open house, they register for the open house from that link in Bold Trail, automatically puts them into their database and automatically starts a drip campaign. So that way you can just automatically send them something as soon as they come in.
Is that a QR code link that they're doing, or are they actually having to type it into their URL?
Tracy, I think Tracy uses it. Tracy, you
Boss
want to tell us
moves
how it works?
Wiggins.
Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, rather. I um
Hey.
I use a QR code. You can do it specific for that house. And so the last open house I did, I had the QR code there. Ryan actually just hosted one. My first one I did. He just hosted this next one, and the QR code is already on the countertop, and I leave it there on a little frame, and it says scan me for more information. And so you can get, chat to frame it out and everything. Just put the QR code in there. And when they scan it, it is going to grab their information and make them leave their information. And then they can kind of look through. And when they start looking through, you got them pretty much. And all you got to do is call and follow up. Yep. And you can use
So
the open
you're
house app, like Cindy's speaking of. You can use the open house app where they can literally sign in too through the open house app. So many ways to grab their information at the open houses for sure.
so you're saying that QR code actually, the incentive for them to use it is it actually gives them information on the house digitally. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So you can do a QR code specific for your website, but that's just general. But then you can do one for that particular property. So I did one for that property, put it in a frame, and I just leave it there. So even when other agents come through for showings and stuff, they can see it, and their clients, unbeknownst to them, are scanning my QR code.
Well, that's great because a
Thanks.
lot of times it's the incentive, right? People are like, "Oh, I don't want to
Right.
sign in," or things like that. Like, look, this gives you all the information on the house right here.
There you go. There you
Just
go.
So
click on this QR
Tracy,
code.
Tracy, essentially what you're doing is building a landing page that's accessed with a QR code.
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
And so,
That's
Bold
great
Trails
stuff.
gives us all that stuff, so we should be taking full advantage of it.
Giving people the incentive, and then also what Rob mentioned, automating the follow-up right out of the gate. That's awesome. Now, with these open houses, are you guys doing anything afterwards to reach out to them? Are you calling them? You texting them? What are you doing?
I'm calling them myself. I will call and say, hey, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate your opinion. I have like an opinion thing that I use too. I hope you guys are using something like that. I got one right here. It's just like it's a feedback. I guess what it is. Here's a feedback form. I don't know if I can do it. Here we go.
Yep. Yep.
Not gonna do it, huh? Oh, there it is. Here it is. It's a feedback form that kind of shows you what is your score on a scale from 1 to 5 on the curb appeal, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the price, different things like that. So they fill that out, and they got their information down there. And I promise them if they have an agent, I'm not going to call and bug them, but I'll say, just put your number down, and I will just, just thank you for coming, or just put your number down. So sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But if they do, I'm certainly going to thank them for coming by. We appreciate your opinion, and that's it. But if they're unrepresented, of course, I'm going all in. But for the
I
most
love it.
part, yeah.
When do you give them that sheet,
Oh,
Tracy?
they get so when they come through the door, I'm not that agent that, I had a new agent. Of course, I'm a mentor, and I had a new agent. As soon as the guy came through the door, she was like, come on in. We need you to sign in. I didn't train her. I just let her do it with me. So when they came in, I wasn't up front. Come on in when you just sign in. Do you have an agent? He said, my goodness, I couldn't even get through the door before you pounced me. And I said, and that by then I heard him say that, right? And so I came into her defense and I said, hey, my name is Tracy. This is LaDonna. LaDonna's assisting me today. I said, yeah, that's a legitimate question to ask if you have an agent. I said, because if you don't have an agent, you make us wonder what you're here for. We want you to have an agent. You scare us if you don't have an agent. You know what I mean? So I kind of what are you here for if you don't have an agent? He said, okay, okay, okay. Well, I get it. I get it. Yeah, we don't want people coming through here. We prefer it to be represented. We prefer to have an agent. But yeah, how can we help you then? I just go on from there. But they fill that out as soon as they come through the door. Welcome. How you doing? Thank you for coming by. You're shopping in this area. Okay, great. Well, listen, go take a look. And before you leave, be sure that you fill out one of these. I need to get your honest opinion. Good, bad, ugly. I need it all so I can share it with my customer. And that's
I
what I said.
love
So
it.
they put it out at the end, typically.
If you're not doing open houses right now, just so you know,
That's
we
good.
have entire extensive trainings on doing effective open houses. Because here's the reality: open houses don't work. Effective open houses work. You've got to be doing the marketing up front, the marketing during, and then also the follow-up afterwards to actually make open houses work. And that's why a lot of agents give up on them, and that's why it'll work for you. Most agents don't do them. And so here's the thing, if everybody was doing them, they wouldn't be as effective. But because so few are doing them, that's what makes it work. Tony Williams, you got a question. Look how polite Tony Williams
Well,
is from the old school, raising his hand.
old school for sure. Yeah, the old goat. So uh, when Tracy holds up a piece of paper like that, some people say, where did that come from? In your companies, you should have toolkits, buyer toolkits, seller toolkits that are inside the company directory. And that's where Tracy, created that, or something like Canva, you're able to create it in Canva because it's included there as well.
Great stuff on that. So, Chiquita, you said that you got your last deal from family. Do you care to expound on that for everybody? I'm looking for you on here. I don't see it. There you go. Hi.
I'm actually a new agent. Actually, I've had my license for 2 years, but I'm just getting back into it. So, one of the things that I do, probably like all agents do now, which is to post online very often. I try to do it at least 2 days a week. I do informational sessions. So one of my posting is called the Monday Marketing Information Session, where I give information in reference to the market, the local market. And my family just they're supportive. And my sister, I'm actually in the process of her home closing on June 30th. So I'm very new. I'm trying to get more information, but now it's posting. I have done some open houses, but the open house and information I just got is, and I will be utilizing it. So that's basically what I do as of now.
Great job. I love it. Yeah. Friends, family, past coworkers, people from your church, people from your kids' school, right? Everybody out there that knows you knows at least 5 people that will do a real estate transaction sometime in the next 6 to 12 months. So it's a great
Hey,
source of it. So I love it. Well done on that, Chiquita.
Justin Morgan to be a good resource to talk about Sphere and family and
Uh-huh.
friends.
Well, Tony Williams, let's go with yours. You were next on the chat here with the Google Business Profile Organic. Let them have it. I know you've become the master of this thing. And explain to people, first of all, what Google Business Profile is if they don't know it, and then how it works.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has the opportunity to at least start a Google business profile. And you can Google what that is, and it'll show you how to start it. The foundational side of it is, you want to keep it in front of you all the time. You ask for reviews. You ask for reviews from past clients, from friends, from family. You Some people think, in order to get a review, you have to have sold them a house. No, Google likes character reviews. In other words, just someone that says, if I were to do business with them, I know I would because of their character. Google loves that. Uh, Posting photos and videos. Every time someone posts a review, ask them to include a photo. And so I'll take a photo with a client, maybe at a closing or in front of their house or somewhere, and I'll send it to them and say, include this photo when you do the review. So in 2 years since we started working with this, I think I started off with 18 reviews, and I thought that is incredibly large number. We're up to 151 now, and about every two reviews, I'll get a solid buyer or seller. What I mean by solid buyer or seller, when they call, it'll say in my ear, because I have a Google phone number, Google call. They don't hear that. But when they start talking, they always say, I want to make an appointment for you to come out. They don't say, I'm interviewing 5 agents, I'm interviewing 3 agents. They're ready to do business with you because of your reviews. So I can't tell you how important a Google business profile is, and that you max it out, keep it in front of you all the time. What do I mean by keep it in front of me? When I'm in a restaurant or I'm at a ball game or wherever I may be, I'll take a picture and I'll do a little review from my phone on my Google Maps. And that creates more activity in my Google business profile. I don't buy Google ads. I don't pay for Google ads. I don't pay for Zillow leads. I don't buy leads. Everything comes organically now because people see the reviews and they read the reviews. So if you just go to Tony and Pam Williams, eXp Realty, in Google, you can see what I'm talking about.
So that's amazing stuff right there. That was worth the price of admission today for everyone on that. The Google Business Profile. If you don't have yours up and running, don't worry. Most agents don't. So you can jump in now and you can be in the top 10% of agents very quickly within the next year of getting that done and just soliciting reviews, as Tony mentioned. Tony, do you use affiliate reviews like other realtors that you worked with, that you co-opt with, and you had a good
Yeah.
experience? Do you guys give each other good reviews?
Yeah, many times, like I'll put my Google review link in the text here today in the chat. Many times when I'm on a Zoom call, an agent from all around the country, I may have never co-opted a deal with them, but they'll send me, a review that just says, thanks for helping me on a call today, and so agents give us reviews all the time as well. Yeah. You
Your
can get
title
reviews
company,
everywhere.
your
Yeah.
lender, your home
Yeah.
inspector, all those people can review you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have a landscaper that'll sit, give me a card after he does work in my yard. He'll say, give me a review. And I say, okay, I'll trade reviews with you. I'll do one for you. You do one for me. This is what I do. Here's my business card. And they'll go, great. And I said, we'll trade reviews. And you just continue to build these things up. You want to be careful about adding bulk numbers of reviews. Okay. And the very best review comes from a Gmail account. Don't use your company email to leave somebody a review because Google will take it down. So the very best review comes from a Gmail account.
Hmm.
That's how
Great
we do it.
stuff on there. Love it. Love it, Tony. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. So Justin M out of Georgia, 8 times icon, says sphere. Justin, we'd love to hear you kind of expound on that a little bit and give some people some nuggets. We got you muted. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna kind of go through like some active listings I got right now, how I got those. Um, so there's two listings I've got right now that are right down the street from me. And the gentleman that owns that house, he bought those as rentals for his kids to live in, and now he's transitioning everybody up to North Georgia. Um, the That's just from I do a lot of work where I live, and I've got a great reputation, and I really harness that, and I try to be really polite with neighbors and walk around. I had keychains made one year that said the city we lived in. And when I'd go for a walk with my kids or the dogs or something, I'd hand them out to neighbors. So that's kind of how I got those listings. And also I do a lot of production down here. So they see my signs a lot because I made sure the signs that we use down here, it's my wife and I. We're a domestic partnership, just like you, Jim, just like Jim and Stacy. The I've got a new listing, Shoals Bridge. I sold them that house 5 years ago. It was a new construction. That was a referral through a past client. They're a brother. Um, and then
Justin, real quick, how do you stay in touch with somebody for 5 years? Because here's the stat.
yeah,
82% of people that are interviewed said they would use their previous agent, but yet the number is only 1/3 of people
yeah.
that are doing a real estate deal do a deal with the agent they used in the past. So how is it 82% can say they would use their past agent, but yet only a third do? What's the disconnect? How are you staying in touch with them?
So every year I do at least I try to touch base with my whole sphere. Now, there's some people that I've done deals with that I never want to see again in my life, so they don't get on my spreadsheet. Um, you know, I could get a phone call that they're on fire and I'll pray for them. But it's so what we do is we normally do a big drop at the end of the year. Um, Around Christmas time, I typically have a local baker that makes us Christmas cookie decorating kits, and there's typically about 4 to 6 in those kits. And the cookies made, the icing's made, everything is just, and we put our family Christmas card on there, and just like, hey, thank you for another great year, thank you for shopping small, using us, and so instead of just mailing past clients our Christmas card, I actually financially commit to having a few hundred Christmas cookie making kits, and we just go physically drop them off at their house. Now, sometimes I just drop them and go if I'm busy. I'm trying to get, I don't typically, but I try to treat it as a pop by. I'm not trying to hang out and eat dinner with them, but I'm just trying to pop in there and be like, hey, hope you all are doing well. Also, I try to let people know I've got a pretty good referral network with home services. So if there's something they need, like a pressure washer referral or a roofing referral or something, I try to touch base with people doing that. But that's my big drop every year. That's the one I spend several $1,000s on, making those custom Christmas cookies. That's a great way to always hit people at the end of the year going in. And then typically by around March, I'll try to mail something to those past clients, like a little thing that says, we're so lucky to have your referrals. And there's like two $1 little lottery scratch tickets on there that it's kind of like a St. Patrick's Day theme. Um, and we just try to touch base a few times a year. And then typically around 4th of July, we'll try to do something sometimes too. And a lot of our past clients that we're friendly with, we're friends with on social media. So they stay in contact with us they'll see our real estate deals. They'll see pictures with our kids. Our youngest daughter just graduated from kindergarten, so people saw a big post from that. But we just really try to be friendly with neighbors and past clients and try to just keep our good reputation going. And we're not out here. And there's a lot of times I'll talk to people. Like I've got one lady right now, I'm helping her get her dad's house ready to sell. I've been talking to her for 4.5 years, on and off, a couple months. But you bring a smile, you talk to them, and then one day it could turn into something, or one day it doesn't. And then for those past clients and friends that tend to refer us a bunch, if it's their birthday, I'll use Facebook. I'll go in the morning sometimes and go, okay, who's got a birthday today? And I'm like, oh, Ben's got a birthday. I've done 3 deals with Ben, and Ben's referred me to probably 4 other people. So I'm going to DoorDash or Uber Eats, whatever you want to use, like a cookies or a birthday cake to their house.
Yeah.
And I'll send it to them. And
one of the things, if you look
yeah.
at Justin's social media, they own little electric bikes and they've got golf carts. They live in a golf cart neighborhood. So when he puts his under contract signs up or new listing signs up, they'll video him on his electric bike carrying his under contract sign flying down the road through the neighborhood. And then they'll say something about, I'm on my way to, put another one under contract in the neighborhood. And then they'll show the picture of the house. Stuff like that. I mean, we get comments all the time at our church. Hey, you guys still selling real estate? Yeah, we're still selling. Man, Justin and Brooke, they're killing it, aren't they? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pull my hair out. I mean, Justin Brooks doing it the right way. Everybody knows what they're doing, you know. And I live in the same neighborhood. That's the reason that I depend on Google business profiles because I can't compete with Justin.
One of the things I'm hearing here, it's a common theme, is it seems like the money is already sitting in people's database in their sphere. It's like most agents don't have a lead problem. Most agents, I think you have a follow-up and relationship nurturing problem, right? Because everybody here is talking about business that they're somehow connected to. Like we haven't got to it yet. We may get to it, but I haven't heard anybody yet. Like I'm buying Zillow leads. I'm paying Realtor.com a bunch of money. I'm doing pay-per-click. We haven't heard that being the best lead so far. In fact, everybody's talked about so far, it's come from somebody they know or somebody they know who knows somebody so far. So, just anything else you want to add before we go to the next one?
I've recently joined a local BNI group, and I more so needed, which is Business Networking International. You can find chapters everywhere. But luckily, one of the chapters that meets close to my house, they had an open residential realtor seat. So when I went in, and those seats you typically got to compete for. When I went in there, it was me versus three other realtors, but my production number blew it out of water. And I went in there with the mindset of, hey, I'm a referral heavy person and I'm sick and tired of handing out referrals for a painter and someone being like, oh, I never heard from your guy. Your guy never called me. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to join a BNI group. And it's taken about 6 months for people to fully understand me and understand where I'm coming from. But I've started getting referrals from that. I just got I got a phone call. I got a call back. I just got a referral for a duplex that I'm selling to an investor friend of mine. And then through that group too, I've got a double referral. The roofer in the group referred me to his neighbor who's been trying to sell her house for 9 months. And then she called me and said, will you come over and walk my property and figure out why it hasn't sold? And I went over there and was just straight up truthful with her. Like, I was like, hey, you got to get your stuff out of here. And she's like, oh, well, does that matter? I said, it looks like you removed 90% of your belongings and then you abandoned the house. And I just coached her. And she's like, wow, thank you for being transparent with me. She goes, it's kind of a tough pill to swallow. And I was like, well, I can help you, but you've got to fix these 4 things and you got to get this house cleaned out. And then we'll do our best to price it right and get it going from there. Well, then she was so impressed that she gave me a referral to someone else she knows is trying to move to Alabama and they need to sell their house. And that house is like a 275 house, and it's a little bit out of my area where I go. So I'm going to hand that off to one of my mentees, and they're going to run that listing. And I don't try to treat every interaction like, oh, I'm going to get business from this person. But if you treat people with respect and you're knowledgeable and you're transparent with them, if you're at a listing appointment and somebody wants to list a house for $100,000 more than what it's truly worth, shake their hand and say, hey, I got to be honest with you. I don't think I'm the right realtor for you. I think we're going to go down this avenue and we're going to end up wasting a lot of each other's time. And I don't want you to hate me at the end of 9 months. So we can maybe do a pre-listing appraisal and come up with an accurate valuation of what the market is. But if you're not willing to do that, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm the right listing agent for you. And then you just don't waste 9 months of your life taking an overpriced listing. So I try to be transparent with people, and that has gone a long way with people. So
great stuff. Our next one is DWP. First of all, you got to tell us what DWP stands for, and we'd love to hear from you because you got something interesting in here. 2 lender referrals, 1 personal referral from an out-of-area agent. So DWP. First of all, what's the initials stand for?
Hey, Jim, it's Deanna Wainwright Powell.
Oh my gosh, how are you? Oh my gosh, I should have known. How are you? How is Maryland?
It's going pretty good, thanks. It's good to see you and hear from you and Kim and others. And yeah, so for me, I work really closely with my lender. And really how that started was, of course, there was an investment in time and effort and energy into me sending business to my lender partner. And I really just asked for the referrals. I'm like, because they do marketing as well. And I said, when you have unrepresented buyers, I want the opportunity to service those leads. And when I do, I give them 5-star customer service. I tie then, the experience that they have with me back to the lender. So it makes the lender look good. And it seems like we're just one seamless team. And they love it. And my lender knows when they refer someone to me that they're going to get top tier service. So they love to send their referrals my way when they have them. So we're in
I love
escrow
the
right now.
idea. Love the idea of reciprocal business. That is
Yes,
awesome, right? Because we sit here and feed these
100%.
people, the title companies, the lenders and stuff like that. It's great that you're getting business back from them. Anyways, keep going. Great stuff.
Yeah, 100%. So we're in escrow right now for a buyer that they sent me a year ago that another agent fired. Saying that she couldn't make a decision and like that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to stick in there with her until, and that's what we've done. Also, I have an agent who lives, I'm in Maryland, so this agent is in Virginia, and they have a client here. They're not with EXP, but, we have conversations. So I would strongly suggest, whether it's EXP or not, anyone who's in real estate who lives in another state, let them know that you're open for their referrals. So we have a seller client right now. She just closed last week. She is in the military, so she's moving away for 2 years and then coming back. So we sold her house, and she said, when I come back, you're my agent. So, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just everyone that knows me knows that I am in real estate.
I love that. Reciprocal business. I mean, we can get that from all of our affiliates, whether they're a painter, our mail person, people like that, but you got to ask for it, I think is what I'm getting from you, Dion. Does that sound right?
100%.
And we know you're not afraid to ask. We know that. I love it. Great stuff.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Jim.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
So
She
let's see.
has
We've
a
got,
very powerful team. She running a very big,
yes,
mega powerful team, a very powerful lady. If she ever show her pretty face too, she is beautiful inside
we need
out
to
and
see her. We need to see her in
amazing.
Salt Lake
That's
City, I
right.
think. We need to see her in
I
Salt
love
Lake
you,
City in
Kim.
October. Awesome.
Love you
Awesome.
guys. Thank you.
So we had some more people giving some more advice on the open houses, it looks like. The open house app in Bold Trail, says Cindy Hetrick. Let's see. Tracy also decorates her sign with 10 plus signs and balloons she puts on them. Now, Tracy, here's the thing I always hear from people. Well, why do I need to put all these signs out? Because people use GPS to find me. What are they missing on that part by not putting the signs out? What are they missing?
Or they're missing the people that may not have even thought about coming to an open house today. Just happen to be out and about and they see all these signs. So you're leading those people that it just really wasn't on their agenda, but they're welcome. They want to see a house. You're also missing the heart. Well, the people in the neighborhood are going to see how much work you put into selling that one house. And so they'll say, well, hey, she's going to do all that for that one guy. I need her to sell my house. My agent only put one balloon and a sign at the front of the entrance. They didn't put 10 signs out leading all the way to the house. There's a difference in the effort that you put out there. So I think it makes a big difference.
There's nothing
Totally.
like subliminal marketing to have your face. Human beings are drawn to faces. You put your face on the sign. It's not an ego thing or anything like that. People want to do business with people. And so they're going to see your face. And then here's what happens. When they meet you in person, guess what? You're not a stranger to them. They're a
That's it.
stranger to you, but you're not a stranger to them because they saw your face on 10 signs
All
with
the way
balloons
in.
all over the neighborhood on the drive there. It breaks the ice and makes it
Yeah,
easier to connect with people. So genius
yeah.
move, Tracy. Well
And
done on
my
that. Carmen says she likes your sheet, by the way. which
Okay,
is
I gotta
great.
get it that sheet. I'll get it to you, Carmen. I also use different style balloons. If you can get polka dot balloons, if you can get, maybe the mylar balloons. I saw one this Sunday. It caught my attention. It was a sign, was a big old pineapple balloon was on it. I was like, well, look at that agent. I just never thought about a pineapple. So do something different. My sign does not have my picture on it, but they have my colors of my team, black, gold, and white, the luxury colors of EXP, and the arrows, just arrows that are pointing everything. And I use black and gold balloons. You don't usually get, black balloons, right? So they're black and gold balloons or marble balloons, something different. Just don't be the average white balloon.
Hey,
I
if
love
you
it.
hey, have you seen the balloons that they make that is an image of you,
Yeah,
and they're about 15 foot tall, waving the hand, waving the
and
hand,
waving
waving
the
the
hand to my
hand.
come this way, come this way, come this way.
What? I have not.
Oh, I
Yeah,
have. You should see it. It could
they're
be me.
incredible.
It is so cool. It'll be me in a suit and it's kind of waving to come this way. And it's like Tony said, those things like $1,000. I was like, I'm doing good with my 10 size.
I like it. I like it. Taylor
It's
Jordan
cute.
says, finally started the process of my Google business profile. Well done, Taylor. Here's why you're going to win because you're taking action. See,
That's it.
what happens is activity breeds activity. People are always in there, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna start. Just start. Take one step towards it and keep moving forward a little bit each day. And that's how you get it done. Because we're all super busy in real estate. So let's see. Here we go. Kim Campbell's got her Google review there down there in the chat on there. So perfect on that. Same thing with Tony Williams. And then Kim Campbell said you can text her if you want your Google page reviewed by her on there. Okay. Tony Justo's throwing a little comedy in there today. Be careful with the pineapple balloons. You can get some freaky people on that. So if their money's green, I'm good with them. Bring in the freaks. So you just get them to sign on the dotted line, right? To get going on that. So here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about things that work in marketing. Let's talk about some things that people think work, but don't always work. I'll give you an example. Talk to agents a lot of times, and they'll be like, well, I posted twice today on social media. And then they're just sitting and they're waiting for leads to drop out of the sky, right? But they feel like that they did something. Now, it is very important to post on social media. Of course, you have to do that all the time. But what is a more effective use of social media? Instead of just marketing and putting out a message one to many, what could be a more effective use of social media that you could do from your living room while sitting there, in front of your Netflix, you're watching Selling Sunset or whatever, thinking the flip houses, what's the one, the house flippers and things like that. What's an effective way to use social media? Because social media works if you do it effectively, right? It's the same thing with open houses. Normal open house doesn't work, but effective open houses work pretty well. Who's got some ideas on social media? Because it is a big piece. Who wants to go?
Wow, this is
Anybody?
tricky. One of the things that done in the past. I haven't done it in a long time, but I need to get back into it. Is on social media, you do see people's birthdays on there, and you can actually just DM them like a card, like a birthday card, or just it can just be everybody knows you're a real estate agent on social media because you're posting. So you can just say happy birthday. I hope you have a great birthday. And I have actually had people, but I would use you when I'm looking for a house. So that might be one of the things. It's like direct email them. I mean, direct mail them. Don't be, bother them all the time, but on special occasions.
So, Chiquita, I love that. I actually learned a strategy, the birthday message strategy, that works very effective for us. And it's using exactly what you said, but on steroids. And here's what I was taught. Take your camera out, put it in front of your face, and send them a birthday video message to their Facebook Messenger. And if you're too busy to take the time out to do a 30-second message to somebody for their birthday, you can create one generic message. And let's say you have 10 birthdays that day on your social media. You can cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste in about 2 minutes to everybody on there a birthday message. Then here's the steroid point. So a lot of people can do that. But what makes it effective is when they answer back. This is where the business part comes in. Most people will say to me, that was the only message I got other than HBD on my Facebook wall or a little GIF on their Facebook wall where they get like 300, right? They're like, I can't even respond to all those, but you're the only real message I got. I've had some people tell me my own mom didn't call me on my birthday today or send me a message, right? But here's where the follow-up part comes in. After you send that, most people are going to respond with something like, that was so nice, or thank you so much, or something like that. Here's where the magic happens. After that, you respond with, hey, I know today's your birthday and you're out celebrating, but if you're interested, I'd love to catch up with you here in the near future and see what's going on in your life. That's the goal. The gold in it is right there, is the follow-up afterwards. Because what you're doing is you're sorting people into categories. Who wants to play with me? It's going to sound really weird. Not who wants to play with me. Who wants to interact with me, right? And then who doesn't? Who's too busy right now? But you will sort it out because some of them will get back to you. So, as a matter of fact, our kids are graduating next year, and we were starting to think about what we're going to do, right? But the purpose of the follow-up is not to say, hey, do you want to talk some real estate? The purpose is, do you want to connect? I'd love to see what's going on in your life. It was the exact same thing that Carmen said earlier about, hey, you were on my mind. But this gives you a systematic method to scroll through on their birthday and send them something that no one else is sending them. Exactly like Chiquita said, you send them a direct message, and it's very easy to do. And no one else is doing it, just so you know. No one. They're getting all their stuff on their wall. No one is directly messaging them. And then the other thing it does is this is the byproduct. It actually takes the Facebook algorithm and flips it on its head. Because what it shows inside Facebook is that you sent them a direct message. They sent you one back. You sent them another message. Now it's a conversation. Facebook views your relationship as stronger than the others. And guess what? Your stuff will start showing up in their timeline, and their stuff will start showing up in yours. And of course, what are your generic posts about you're putting out? You're putting out about real estate, right? You're staying top of mind awareness of them. But the purpose of the conversation is for connection. Here's the theory. We are more connected as human beings than any time in history, more connected, but we are the loneliest we've ever been. Why? Because we're just zinging each other an electronic message, a few characters. In fact, we're too lazy sometimes to even type happy birthday. We just put HBD, right? I mean, how, right? HBD, happy birthday, right? This point of building a connection, that's when you build the business coming in. And that's what I think all of us have been talking about here today. It's coming from the relationships. And so being able to take that Facebook method and put it on steroids is a great way for you to go through all of your friends. And the key is stop thinking about Facebook as your friends list and start thinking of Facebook connections. Start thinking of them as, who would I like to sell a house to or sell their house, right? This is your network. And the key to when you're building something with them and sitting with them is this. This is the stat. Once you catch this, I think real estate gets a lot easier. The National Association of Realtors says that every person you know knows 5 people that will do a real estate transaction in the next 6 to 12 months. Everybody you know. So if you effectively farmed with just the people who want to interact with you, these are the people who respond, that you respond back, that then jump on your calendar to connect, you build that connection, they know 5 transactions inside of
Hey,
them.
Jim. Hey, Jim.
Go ahead, Tony.
If you take your phone and you click on contacts, okay? So you got your phone app and you click on contacts. In the top left up there, you see an arrow going to the left. Click on that. You'll see the number of contacts that you have in your phone. Multiply that times 3%. That's how many people are going to trade real estate this next year in your phone. In your phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
See,
lot.
that's a lot. That's a lot. There's a bunch of activity going on inside your phone.
And my mentor taught me this. Your phone did not come pre-programmed with those numbers. You put them in there. So there's somebody that you know. Your job is to figure out who wants you to get to know them better. And the way you have to do is you have to have a systematic sorting method to get through it. And you never have to talk to a stranger ever again if you didn't want to, right? You have enough people in your phone right now. That 3% thing is really cool, Tony. That's staggering, the numbers on that. So what we're talking about today here is we're getting close to wrapping up. By the way, we do these every Monday, so we'll be doing another one next Monday. And of course, you probably heard some good scripts and things today. Don't forget, we put them on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and you can hear them. That way you can stay in and just be present right now with what's going on. But the key thing I think that I got, and I'd love to hear anybody else's key insights that they got on this, is that developing and building the relationship. We already know the people. They're already in there. What is an effective way to stay in touch with them? And the answer is whichever one you use. Whichever one that you use, right? There's no right way or wrong way to do it other than not doing it at all. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in the shiny objects, right? Here's the magic lead generation formula over here, when the reality is, how can I get a conversation started? I think Carmen started us off right from the beginning. Hey, you were on my mind, and called them. Old school, on the phone, right? I know if my phone rings, it's an emergency anymore nowadays, right? Like everybody texts. If the phone rings, you're like, oh, something bad happened. I better answer nowadays, right? No one calls anymore on that. So anybody else who got an insight, a 60-second insight they'd like to share today as we get out here? I think we have a hand up. Tony Justo.
Yes, a couple places to go. Check out Nextdoor. It can get you, if you're farming in an area, help you get, business that way. Also, Facebook groups. Join as many of them as you can that are local. Think of like mom and dad, groups for whatever town you're looking to do. And just like, hey, I'll use a town like Lockport, Illinois, and join all the groups there where you're trying to get business or, conduct business, and it can help you tremendously.
That's a great one. That's great. And to put that on steroids, be the person that creates the group. If your neighborhood doesn't already have a Facebook group, you should be the mayor. We call it being the mayor of the place, where you're the person that controls it. What's that called? The admin of the group. You control who gets in, who gets out, and what is said inside that group. Start it. If somebody else hasn't done it, you start it. If there's something you're very interested in, I don't know, you're into equestrian stuff, you start that group and get it going somewhere locally around there. Because again, people are looking for connection. They're looking for somebody that they can not just connect with online, but that they can meet and see face to face. DWP, you got your hand up too. Go for it. We got you muted, Dion. You have to unmute.
Sorry. Yes. Okay. So to your point, Tina Beliveau in Maryland has an amazing YouTube video. I think she did it for EXP, so I don't know if it's an EXP university, but on YouTube, Tina Beliveau has an amazing training on how to start a community Facebook group. It's amazing.
Dion, will you drop the link if you can find it before we jump off here? Drop the link in the chat so people can grab it, or at least her name spelled correctly so people can find her. That'd be awesome. Yep. Tracy
Yeah,
Boston,
you got it.
it's all over it. How to spell the name, Tracy. I love
100%.
Anybody else want to add anything before we jump off here? It was a great Monday, a great way to get started. Here's the thing. You heard here's what I don't want you to do. You heard so many great things today. Don't get overwhelmed by all of them. Pick one and just start it. Baby steps. Just start it and move forward a little bit each day. And then don't forget we recorded this thing, but pick one that connected with you. Because here's the thing. It's got to be something you enjoy. If you're not somebody that enjoys banging out phone calls, you're not going to do it. If you're not somebody who enjoys doing open houses, you're not going to do it. You got to pick the one that you like, because that's where your energy and your authenticity and your joy is going to come from. If calling people is something that you hate, it's going to come across on the phone, and you're going to send that negativity through the phone line, right? The phone line. Look how old school I am. The phone line. Back in the day, phones were connected. So we'll get the name put in there. And next Monday, I don't know what our topic is yet, but we will post it in there, and we'll go from there. I'm going to stop the recording.